My name is Josh Gottry. Welcome to today's weekly lesson. We're looking at timpani today. Specifically, we're going to talk about getting a good sound out of the drums, playing spots, sticking, things like that to make sure you're approaching the instrument in a way that gives you the best sound at all times and allows you to get from drum to drum in a smooth and efficient manner. I've got two drums in front of me today, 29-inch, 26-inch. Typically the middle two drums of a set of four, but what we need to cover today really only requires those two drums, so that's where we'll hang out today. I've got the drums tuned already. This is an A and a D. I've checked those. Again, when we're tuning, like I said a few weeks ago, we want to make sure that we do that as quietly as possible, such that our tuning process is our process, our performance and playing is much more projected, and the two don't get mistaken for each other. So we're going to talk about playing spots. Most of you hopefully know that the one place we don't play the timpani is in the center of the drum, except for special circumstances where we're going for effects. But the normal sound of these drums is not ideal in the center. If I play in the center of the drum, we get a very tubby, dry, dead sound that is certainly unpleasant to listen to. So that's not what we're going for. Okay? Now, at the same time, we don't want to play too close to the edge because nobody says, oh, I want timpani because I want that nice, thin, transparent sound. Okay? If you play too close to the edge, we get a real tinny, thin, weak sound out of the drums, something like this. Really not a sound that we would be going for on timpani. So we want to find somewhere in between. Most people recommend something in the vicinity of about a third of the way from the edge to the center of the drum. But I would say the most important thing to do is listen and find the spot that you think combines the warmth of the drum, nice full body sound, but also that resonance. So if I start on the edge and I'm going to gradually move towards the center until I start to find, okay, that's a pretty good sound right there. Go a little further. At that point, we're getting a little tubby. So I want to come back. And there's that sound that I'm looking for. So right there, in this case on this drum, I'm probably about 2.5, 3 inches from the edge. And I found that good playing spot. And it's probably going to be something similar over here, but of course since this is a bigger drum, it'll probably be slightly further from the edge. But again, ratio-wise, about the same distance. So that's the first thing, is we need to find that good playing spot. Make sure that we're striking that with great consistency. Of course, the consistency is the important thing, because if I strike here once, and then the next time I come to the drum I strike here, I got a drastically different sound from the same drum, and that was only a matter of probably 2 inches difference. So we want to be very consistent about where we play the drum to make sure we don't just get that good sound once, but we get that good sound regularly or consistently. A little bit about the grip. You can approach timpani with a variety of grips and strokes. Most commonly and most recommended is what's referred to as a French grip. So it's going to be a situation where the thumb is on top of the stick rather than a German grip, which we often do for keyboards or snare drum, where the back of the hand is facing up. Okay, so we're looking at something with the thumb on top. Couple reasons for that grip. We also use it typically for ride cymbal playing on drum set. It really puts the hand in a position where the up position is the most comfortable position. So since these drums are best played with a stroke that draws the sound out of the drum rather than propels the stick into the drum, a grip and a stroke that encourages the hand to respond, to rebound to that up position is certainly a reinforcement of that concept. So a French grip, it allows us to most comfortably play a full or legato stroke on the instrument to get the best sound out of the drum. So we're going to work with that French grip, thumb on top. Again, you can use the German grip, snare drum grip, very effectively, and there's some certainly highly respected professional players that play with that. but most commonly you will see timpani done with French grip. So I'd recommend you work on that. Make sure you keep the stick in the hand. We don't want to push the stick away from the hand with that French grip. And you'll even see as you're playing, the stick will just rub along the base of that hand. And that confirms that you're kind of doing the right thing. If it slaps to the inside of the hand, that's more of a German grip type stroke, and so even though your thumb is on top, you're not actually executing the stroke with that shifting motion there in your hand. Again, the fulcrum, just the same as snare drum, is going to be there between the thumb and the first finger. Okay, so we've got our playing spot, we've got our grip, and then we just want to make sure that we can play the same stroke each time on the drum and get a nice good sound from each mallet. And then do the same thing on another drum. Again, listening for the sound. If we need to adjust a little bit, we will. Practice going back and forth and being able to play both drums consistently in that same spot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use triplets, groups of 3, allows me to switch to the high drum with my right hand, back to the low drum with my left hand. I'm doing that, when I finish that last stroke on this drum and I'm getting ready to go over here, the rebound of that stroke immediately prepares me for the next drum. And you can see my lower body is very stationary as I'm moving to and from the drums. In fact, I'm leaning on, not sitting on, but leaning on a timpani stool. Allows me to remain very centered. And allows me even slightly to recline or come back away from the drum, again encouraging that full or lifting stroke. And then only my upper body is rotating to make sure that I'm facing or directionalized towards the drum that I'm playing. And again, I'm looking for that exact playing spot, just about a third of the way towards center, trying to hit the same spot with each mallet as I play. So there's just a couple basics to make sure you get the right sound out of the drum with those single strokes. We'll talk about more another time. Have a great week.